Welcome, everybody. It is after 6 p.m. I apologize for the delay. This is the day and time, on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. This is the day and time set for the Westland Planning Commission meeting for the month of April. If I can please have everybody rise with us and join us in the recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Administration, roll call, please.
Durante.
Present.
Folks.
Present.
Hammonds.
Here.
Hobbs.
Present.
Hopkins.
Here.
Richards.
Present.
Rounds.
Present.
Stachow was absent, excused. Rappaport.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the March 3rd, 2026 meeting. May I have a motion to approve?
So move. Support.
Motion by Richards, support by Folks. Roll call, please.
Roll call to approve the March 3rd meeting minutes. Durante.
Yes.
Folks.
Yes.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Abstain.
Richards.
Yes.
Rounds.
Yes.
Rappaport.
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is an opportunity for the citizens who are gathered here. If you have anything that you would like to bring to our attention that is not currently on our agenda for discussion today, this is the opportunity for you to rise to the podium and be recognized to speak your mind. Please remember that this is not for you to speak your mind quite yet on the action items that we have for today. You definitely will be given an opportunity to speak on those items at their appropriate time. If you need an agenda, the agendas can be found at the lectern. At this time, is there anybody on my right that wishes to bring an item to our attention that is not on the agenda? This ma'am in the white hoodie?
Good evening. My name's Deborah Taylor. I've been a member here in Westland for quite a while, and I've retired, and I've become aware of how many people walk in my community. I live on Cherry Hill, between Hicks and Newburgh and the condominiums, and there is a very, very limited amount of sidewalks. You have to constantly cross from one side to the other to remain on a sidewalk. There's no continuance of sidewalk on either side of the road. And unfortunately, someone's going to get hit. They probably already have, I just don't know it. But truthfully, I'm wondering why we don't have any sidewalks on Cherry Hill. It's a very residential community. That's my question. Thank you.
I appreciate the comments. I do know that making Westland more walkable has been a priority for prior administrations. I'm sure it's also a priority for this administration. I'm seeing the director nodding. I know that the prior administration had standing orders that all new developments required sidewalks, and it is a thing that we often try to. The issue with Cherry Hill is a lot of those properties have pre-existed our push to have more sidewalks, but it is certainly a good thing for you to bring to the attention of the administration. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody on my left? Seeing none. Anybody additionally on my right? Seeing none, we'll move along. Thank you very much for your comment, ma'am. Now we'll move into our action items for today. We'll begin with case number 1458B. That is a proposed special land use for a smoke and vape shop at Cowan Road and West Wayne Road. Mr. Ayub, can you please tell us a little bit about this proposal?
Yes, thank you. Petitioner tonight is seeking special land use approval to occupy a vacant approximately 2,000 square foot unit in this retail plaza north of Warren on the west side of Wayne Road for a smoke and vape shop. The smoke and vape shop will be open Monday through Sunday from 10 a.m. through 11 p.m. The site is currently zoned CB3 General Commercial Business, and previously mentioned, it's developed by a retail plaza under a previously approved site plan. Smoke and vape shop businesses are subject to special land use approval to regulate their location, including limiting the proximity away from school zones. There are no school zones in the immediate area of the subject site. The location and screening of vehicular circulation, including the existing curb cuts and parking areas, are all existing and will remain as is, again, as part of a previously established development through a previously approved site plan. Happy to answer any questions. The Planning Department and Administration are recommending approval.
Thank you very much. Is the petitioner in the audience? If you could please rise to the podium, be recognized.
Hello,
Hi there, petitioner.
I'm Ali Al-Hasham, and what we're trying to do is open up a retail store in Westland. We already have a store in Taylor that we're trying to duplicate into your city. So what we plan on selling besides tobacco products is many other things such as snacks, clothes, exotic snacks, Japanese mochi, branded clothes such as Essential Fits, and all types of different things. So we're not just planning on opening just a smoke shop that only takes up about half the business. This is going to include a shoe store with branded shoes as Jordan Retros, and all types of different designs, Nike shoes and everything. My partners, I got 4 partners. I grew up with 3 of them since we were 10 years old. We opened up the first one together. We're planning on opening up the second one together, hopefully in Westland. We're not just bringing a regular smoke shop like everyone else. This is going to be owner-operated. We all plan to work shifts, actually run the place ourselves. We don't plan to hire anyone unless needed in the future. But this is something that's going to be well-organized, security cameras to ensure no loitering, no trespassers on the property or anything like that. We're going to have ID scanners to make sure everyone's 21 plus before they purchase any tobacco products. You know, we've been running our first shop for about 2 years, ended up very successful with it. We're very proud of it, and we just want to bring the same thing to Westland.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
So I'm going to have you take a seat nearby the lectern. This is a public meeting, so we're going to ask for the citizens to speak up and ask questions if they have any, and then we'll bring you back up to the lectern when we open it up to the council.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. This is a public meeting, so if there is any citizen on my right or my left that wishes to speak, please feel free to rise to the podium when I've recognized you. Is there anybody on my right that wishes to speak on this proposal?
I do.
Ma'am, please rise and be recognized.
I'm Angela Phelan.
It's right here to the microphone so that the cameras can hear you.
Okay, so my concern is basically we already have too many smoke and vape shops in the area already. Many other shops have came in. I work in the medical field. There are some shops, I'm not sure about his, but they're giving products to stop smoking, but it's actually, they're giving stuff that's not FDA approved, that is highly addictive. And I had a patient, I almost had to go through rehab in the ER because once he took the one hit, he was just like this all. So that's my concern. There's just way too many as it is. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody additionally on my left? Anybody additionally on my right? Seeing none, sir, if I can have you retake the podium. and I will open it up to the commission. Commissioners, if there's anybody on my right that wishes to question the petitioner? Seeing none? Oh, that guy. Recognizing Darrell Rounds.
I just wanted to know if, I'm sorry. I just wanted to know if the petitioner had a response for the question that the citizen raised.
I do. So a lot of smoke shops can operate in very unethical ways. They can sell products such as marijuana, pills, stuff that's just not allowed, and it's not zoned to be sold to the public through a smoke shop. We don't do that. That's not something we're about. I've never done drugs before, never planned on it. It's not something I want to put out into the world. I actually had a cousin before that had a big problem with drug use. So drugs are not my friend. I do not want to bring it into this city, and I do not plan on selling anything to this city. The only things I plan to sell to people of Westland is stuff that can actually benefit them and stuff that they want and stuff that they would need. Do a lot of shops sell the stuff you're talking about? They do, but not us.
Thank you very much. Does that satisfy your question?
Yes, he responded to the citizen's question, so. I'm good.
Fantastic, thank you. Anybody additionally anybody on the commission on my left wish to question the petitioner? Seeing none, anybody additionally on my right? Seeing none, I did have a question or a comment. I also share some of the concern of the citizen. Not that I would suggest that you would do that sort of thing. I just certainly know that I myself broke an addiction to a tobacco addiction. I was a smoker through college and law school. And I broke my addiction using a vaporizer. And it disturbs me that the vapes that they currently have on the market aren't designed to allow or facilitate the sort of stage down that I did, more that they're designed as a replacement product. And I would hope that you'd not only be a provider of products, but also an educator of your
So
customers.
I completely understand. I make sure people know what they're buying always. I won't just go ahead and sell anything to anyone. I make sure they're above the age of law. I make sure they know what they're about to inhale and take. Again, I'm not someone that just likes to throw stuff at people and just hope they give me money so I can make more money. Money comes and goes. I'd rather people know what they're doing, what's happening to them. It's more about how would I feel about myself at the end of the day, getting a 16-year-old kid hooked to a vape, to nicotine, making him addicted from 16 till, whatever age he decides to stop, or if he never stops. So that's something I do not want to do. Never did it in Taylor. Our reviews on Google are 4.9. If anyone looks at our reviews, they're nothing but good comments for the most part. People are satisfied with us. We got people that come out from Westland. We have customers from Westland that when they find out what we're trying to accomplish here, they were happy, they were excited. They wanted us to come here and join you guys in the city. But back to your main concern, your main question, I would never sell anything to anyone unless they knew what it was.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Of course.
At this time, a motion is in order. Recognizing Ruby Richards for that motion.
I move to close out and waive normal rules for case number 1458B, proposed special land use approval for smoking vape shop at 8047 North Wayne Road, north side of Cowan Road, west of Wayne Road, Westland Smoking Vape, and send to City Council for approval of the special land use subject to departmental requirements and recommendations.
I'll second that.
That is a motion by Ruby Richards, second by Hopkins. Roll call, please.
So roll call vote to recommend approval of case number 1458B. Durante,
No.
Folks,
Yes.
Hammonds,
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
Rounds,
Yes.
Rappaport.
Yes.
Motion is
So
approved.
congratulations. You do have a recommendation. Your next step is at the city council level. I wish you luck, and if you have any questions, please contact the administration, and they'll help you out.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
At this time, we are going to call case number 0503E, proposed rezoning from R1 Single Family Residential to Garden Apartment Residential District at Newburgh Road, north of Ford, south of Warren. Before I ask the administration to tell us about this proposal, I do recognize that there's a significant number of citizens in the audience that are likely to want to speak on this matter. And whenever this happens, I like to say a few words to make sure that we have a nice, respectful, and orderly thing. We want to make sure that everybody gets heard, and we want to make sure that everybody is respected. Please remember that if you expect nobody to interrupt you while you are speaking, please extend them the same courtesy. If you cannot extend that courtesy, please find your way to the lobby and let the matter play out. I will be timing the citizens' comments. They're going to be limited to 3 minutes. Please make sure that everybody has had their 3 minutes before you ask to be re-recognized to finish any thoughts that you have. Please note that none of the people up here have their minds made up. We keep our minds open, and we make our decisions when it comes time to make our votes based on our personal beliefs of what is best for the citizens and the city of Westland. I guess with that, Mr. Ayoub, if you could please tell us a little bit about this proposal.
Okay, thank you. Subject property here is located on the west side of Newburgh. It's between Ford Road and Warren Road. The property is comprised of about 2.5 acres. It's currently vacant. It was previously wooded at one point, received City Council and Planning Commission approval to develop 6 single-family dwellings, and as a result of that approval, there was some removal of the trees that are located on the site and communications with utility companies and such, and that project stalled out. Property was listed for sale. Getting back on track here, the petitioner proposes to rezone the property from its R1 single-family residential designation to GAR, that's our Garden Apartment Residential District, in order to facilitate the development of a multifamily development. While the site was previously approved for single-family development, as I mentioned, it has remained vacant, suggesting potential limitations in market demand for single-family residential, and given the size of approximately 3.5 acres along Newburgh between Ford Road and Warren Road on a major thoroughfare, the property may be less ideally suited for traditional single-family residential due to the increased traffic exposure and the way the land is situated. The proposed GAR zoning district would allow for a more intensive residential use, still residential, that may better utilize the site. Properties to the north are zoned R1 single-family residential, developed by a single-family residential dwelling. Properties to the south, same R1 designation, developed by single-family dwellings. Property to the west, same R1, single-family residential and developed by single-family dwelling. Property to the east, across the street from Newburgh is THR, that's our Townhouse Residential District, developed by Sheltering Pines Condominium Complex. The future land use map as part of the master plan indicates single-family residential designation for this site. As I think many of you know, the master plan update is ongoing at the moment. The administration and planning department are recommending approval of this petition. The Petitioner did provide a concept plan, and that's all it is at this point, is just a concept plan. It hasn't been reviewed comprehensively for development. This is a rendering of what the site could like, most likely will look like if developed and approved. 4 buildings, I don't have the side view, but it's a 2-story building, 4 buildings, 8 units each. Again, we're discussing the rezoning, not the site plan, but that's a possibility of what it will look like. The GAR zoning district allows the single-family residential. It allows for duplexes. It allows for townhouses, similar to what's across the street at Sheltering Pines, and it also allows for multifamily apartments, which is what is proposed here. With that, the administration is recommending approval and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, administration. Is the petitioner in the audience? Thank you. Please rise to the podium and be recognized, sir.
Good afternoon, it is afternoon. Salem Saman, I'm an attorney out of Plymouth, Michigan, excuse me. And with me today is the developer, Sam Sagir, as well as the engineer that developed this project. Again, as you saw from the rendering that was put on the thing, what the developer plans to do is put 4 distinct buildings on the corner of the property, parking in the middle. Around the building, he's going to have a sidewalk, people to walk. There's going to be a nice entrance to it, and there's going to be 8 apartments in each building, 2 on each side at the bottom, and same thing on the top. There'll be 1,000 square feet each, and they're not going to be low income or high end. I think they're going to go somewhere in the area of $1,500 to $1,800 a month. It's going to be a very well put together project for a lot that has been vacant for a while. I think it will suit that site very well.
Thank you very much. This is also a special land use, so I'm going to ask you to take a seat nearby the podium. We're going to open it up to the citizens for their commentary, and then I'll call you back up to the podium, and we're going to open it up to the commission. So, I appreciate it, but I'm going to start on the right, so, because that's what I do. So if I have anybody who would like to be recognized and speak on this matter, on my right, recognizing the gentleman in the pink shirt. He raised his hand first. He was a little faster than you. We'll get to you, though.
It's my older brother, I gotta let him go first. No, that's all right, go on. I'll let the guy in the pink shirt go. Hey, I'm comfortable in my pink shirt. Scott Gojai, appreciate your time.
Hi, Scott.
But honestly, I'm at this podium because I'm not comfortable with what's being proposed. That's to me, that's a sacred piece of land and a sacred piece of Westland heritage. That has been a residential community and area for families and homes since the beginning of time to now. And in my opinion, I'm very confused how that original plan faltered, which I don't know how it got botched and how they took down every tree, not partial trees, but they raped the area. It's a bare eyesore. All privacy is gone, and we're appalled and offended. And same way with bringing in apartments. No disrespect to the investment of the project. I welcome investors, and we're all for it. But to bring that type of project to that area in 32 units, that influx of people in the change of the ecosystem of that community, section of community and neighborhood is going to be detrimental. And I don't think any one of you would want that brought into your backyard, and I don't want it brought into our backyard. And I kind of need to do the right thing. I wish them the best of luck with this project somewhere else that I think they can get. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody on my left?
Oh, we're alternating back and forth?
Yeah, we sure are. It's how I keep track of stuff.
My name is Scott Letitia. I'm over a decade citizen, and I have a couple questions and concerns for the plan and for what has previously happened on that property. One of the things I noticed, the case number, did that change by
It did.
chance? And why?
Because it's a different case for us now.
Okay, is there a reason?
It's organizational, it's not.
So is 2281 now no longer valid?
I think that was the one before, when it came before us.
Okay, so is it not valid?
We're still talking about the same property.
Okay, so is there two case numbers on the same project?
The reference number's not relevant to the discussion.
Okay, then I guess I'll move on to my questions and concerns. Sidewalks, there is currently no sidewalks on that side of Newburgh Road, and I believe with that many residents moving in, it wouldn't be conducive to the area at all. Another issue I have, if you put up the site, the overhead topographical view of the property to the northwest and to the north is a lot lower than the proposed site, and I'm afraid that drainage would destroy that property. It would become wetlands, and I don't think that we want that in the city. I think that the 20 acres between, well, it's approximately 20 acres between the proposed site next to Lowe's is currently for sale, and I'm not sure if that property owner is here or not today, but I'm afraid that there's going to be drainage issues with this proposed site. Another concern of mine is soil contamination with chemicals, fertilizers. Being a residential area, I don't think it's conducive to the nature and the beauty of that piece of property to put a development in that may damage it for future generations. Is there a reason or is there an explanation of why the previous project failed? Or is there a way that I can get an explanation? Because there was an agreement, I believe, that they were supposed to leave a buffer zone of trees around certain boundaries, and they didn't live up to that agreement, and they removed every single tree on the property. And I want to know who would be responsible for that. Was it you who approved it, or was it the people that cut the tree down, or was it the people that paid the people that cut the trees down? I even believe they cut down trees that were on other people's property without their permission. And also, I guess my last question is, how many people were you proposed for the site? How many occupancies?
Please address your comments to the
Okay.
board. He's hearing it, and he's going to answer,
Okay.
but please direct
How
your
many
comments.
occupants of the proposed project? And that's all I have.
Thank you very much, sir. Anybody additionally on my right? Now recognizing the elder brother.
Good evening. My name is John Gochi. I live in Northville, but I own a property right there that dead ends on Morley Street, directly across, right smack dab in the middle there at the end of that big square there is my property. There used to be my late brother's property. So I don't live there anymore, but I own the property. And my old house is the other house that adjacent to that. And a young family lives there with young children, and she called me mortified when they started the project. I wasn't aware of it. I went out there and I talked to the guy that was tearing down the trees, chopping them up. And he had left a little bit of a, 10-foot section with some trees, adjacent to my property. I said, hey, I think you're cutting down on my property. He's like, oh, no, we had it marked. And I said, well, geez, this is kind of, barren. I go, you guys going to get rid of everything? He's like, oh, no, we're going to leave this here. And then a couple of days later, they completely made it flat land. And I called the building department to complain about it, and I've been meaning to come here to complain about it, that somebody was allowed and got approval to raise all that land right there, which really surprises me, because one of the problems with developing that parcel there was the cost to replace the trees you cut down. So it behooves me to why he cut every tree down. He must have just had an unlimited budget. And I thought he was going to replant something, you know, but, and my problem isn't with these guys. They had, to my knowledge, they weren't the guys that, you know, cut down all those trees and left, you know, no privacy for the neighbors. It's just a lack of courtesy. And when it starts like that, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And unfortunately, it translates to these guys' project, which I don't have a comment on that because I don't live in Westland anymore. Let the neighbors speak to that. But my problem is the lack of respect when they developed this property originally, not leaving any kind of privacy, you know, courtesy for the adjacent neighbors. I don't know if you guys know, but that area got a ton of deers, rabbits, all kinds of wildlife. Well, once they cut those trees down, unfortunately, you know, development will do that they've kind of disappeared. But that's my biggest thing is, you know, privacy for the adjacent neighbors. Well, if you guys do approve it, you know, that's on you. But, you know, that lack of privacy for the neighbors is the biggest concern for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gochai. Anybody additionally on my left? I saw the gentleman in the puffy black jacket first.
Good evening. My name is Sam Fadlala. I'm currently the chairman of the Planning Commission of Dearborn Heights, so I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm here in support of Mr. Saguir's development, and just to speak of experience that we had with this gentleman and his company, Sunshine Construction, in the city of Dearborn Heights particularly. I can speak on that. We recently had a project that almost identical to this project, and I believe it was the same architect that did that, on Warren Avenue across from Warren Valley Golf Course. Spectacular piece of property that the developer took it and developed the whole thing into 32 units, okay, modern style. So we welcome that in the city of Dearborn Heights, that we can bring more residents to our city. We also can bring more tax revenues. And on a personal level, besides the Planning Commission in Dearborn Heights, that currently, Mr. Saguir is building a building for my company in in Garden City, also 10-unit townhouses and 3 more projects down the street. So moving west, this is a great project that this specific developer that can accomplish in a short period of time and give you a quality development, okay? It's not like something that's going to be a job site that's going to be left without cleanup or anything. I never had one ordinance violation in the city of Dearborn Heights on any of the properties that he worked on or in Garden City. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Technology. Anybody additionally on my right? Oh, hey, late comer. All right, here we go. Man in the stocking beanie.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Corey Tinsky, and I live at 6028 Morley Street. I'm here tonight representing not only myself, but also my neighbors who share concerns about this proposal. I respectfully oppose the request to change this parcel from R1 to Garden Apartment District. The site was originally planned and intended for single-family residential development consistent with the surrounding neighborhood. That plan was abandoned, and the property was later put up for sale. We know we covered this, I'm sorry. The current rezoning request appears to be an attempt to make the parcel more marketable rather than a change driven by sound.
Can you
planning
speak up,
reasons.
please?
Sure, I'm sorry. All properties surrounding this parcel are zoned R1. Introducing high-density multifamily housing here would be incompatible with those existing neighborhood and represents a significant change in character. I know that it was touched on that there are townhouses across the street, but I would argue that Newburgh does serve as a natural boundary between that and our neighborhood. Our neighborhood has a rural feel to it, that we have dirt roads. It feels very backcountry. But let me continue. In fact, the property directly behind the site is a single-family home on a lot that is even larger than the subject parcel, further demonstrating that low-density residential use is both appropriate and consistent in this area. This also raises concern of spot zoning as it singles out the parcel for a much more intense use that does not match the surrounding area. Additionally, this proposed rezoning is not consistent with the city's master plan, which supports maintaining low-density residential use in this area. Apartments may be appropriate elsewhere in Westland, but this site, surrounded by R1 homes, is not an appropriate location of that level of density. We respectfully ask you to deny this rezoning request. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ma'am, if I can please have you, did you want to, oh, sir.
I'm sorry.
We're not, they're not done, not by a long shot.
Not at all.
Ma'am, if you could please rise and be
Good
recognized.
evening. Hi, my name's Trish Pellerito. I live across the street in one of the condominium develops. I'm at Maplehurst, which sits catty corner across from the proposed project. I'm here tonight more to talk about the land use in general with Westland. And doing some research for this upcoming meeting, the last thing this city needs right now is another apartment. We have a 40% spread of renters, 60% homeowners already. 5% of those apartments, as of March, were unoccupied. Second, I'm concerned, as a person living across the street from this development, about the completion of the project. Completion bonds would be very necessary in this economy. I do not trust any development going on right now. The other thing that I worry about is the traffic that it's going to bring into our area. Newburgh Road is already treacherous enough. It's already beat up enough. Adding construction traffic into that mix is going to be terrible. And even after the construction is completed, you're looking at perhaps 32 units of people in a small apartment complex that are going to add to the traffic as well. The other thing I question is the fact that who's going to actually rent these apartments? When I'm looking at the stats for the city, we fall a point or two below the national average for poverty level here in the city, as well as unemployment. The job basis here is mostly blue collar if you're lucky, but 30% of those jobs are also service jobs, which, as we all know, aren't particularly well paid. So who's going to occupy these apartments? This kind of development belongs in a more affluent area than we have. It belongs in an area that isn't zoned for low density. It doesn't belong here at all, cluttering up the neighborhood and creating chaos. These nice people who live adjacent to the proposed project, have made it very clear that the land use is not going to be to their advancement or their comfort or their privacy. These folks are invading with this development, and I think it's very short-sighted of the Planning Commission to allow it. We don't need any more apartments in the city of Westland. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much. Anybody additionally on my right? Seeing none. Anybody additionally on my left? The very red lady in the back.
I'm Pauline Castellanos. I'm the board president of Sheltering Pines, and we, of course, would be very affected by this. I have to ask, the first time when this was going to be developed for 6 houses, never received a notification. Never received a notification about a meeting this time either. It seemed sporadically amongst my neighbors. So I want to bring that up. My question is, and maybe I missed something when Mr. Ayub was explaining it, is what happened the first time? Why did that project not go forward, tearing down all the trees, as these gentlemen so eloquently discussed, and making it a mess, ruining a green site? What happened that the first project failed? Can anyone answer that?
Not directly at this time, but if you pose the question, I'm sure it will get addressed.
Okay, well, that's my big question. And is it a change of ownership this time, or is it the same people? Because you see, it was for sale. So it is a change of ownership?
Once again, this is not a question and answer period. This is an opportunity for you to speak.
Okay.
And when an opportunity comes for those questions to be answered, they'll be answered. This is
Cool.
your time.
Cool, cool. Well, and I agree about Newburgh is just crap from Joy Road to Ford. It's a mess, and the constant patching of the potholes isn't doing anything. So I, speaking for the residents, the 33 units at Sheltering Pines, we also are against bringing in this type of concentrated residential project rather than the 6 homes that it was going to be before.
Thank you very much. Anybody additionally on my right? I now recognize the gentleman in the other puffy jacket. Please rise to the podium and be recognized.
James Hayden. My family has owned the property, and I've lived there my entire life, 62 years, and we've owned the property probably 70 years, right beside that. And the thought of them tearing down the woods was bad enough. And then we were like, okay, they're going to put in houses, all right, we'll get used to. Now you're talking about putting in apartments. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be low income, what we're doing here, but that next to my home, and now you got 2-story apartments, people looking down right into my backyard. I'm just totally against this whole thing. And I just don't understand why we can't go back to keep it the way it is. And if we gotta have houses in there, that's one thing. Apartments, I'm totally against that whole idea. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Anybody additionally on my left? The nice woman in the back with the very white coat.
My name is Deirdre Lewis, and I reside at Sheltering Pines as well. My concern is our property values. When you go around the corner on Warren, there's 2 to 3 apartment complexes. We do not need another one. We need families in single homes that represent Newburgh Road. We don't need another apartment complex. Let them go around to Wilderness Park and the other place. We don't need one. I want my property value to go up, not down, because we have apartments across the street. That's my comment.
Thank you very much. Anybody additionally on my right? See, oh, we got one. All right.
I'm Naim Goche. I live on Morley Street. My parents have owned the house. I mean, they bought the house probably, 1972?
Did all the Gochais come?
All the Goches
commute?
were down that street, everybody.
Carpool right on in?
I have 5 kids, they grew up in this house. My kids play with that guy's kids over there. I mean, this is a
I went to high
nice
school with
neighborhood.
Jamela.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have gone past all the wooded, everybody knows all the wood was cut down, all the trees were cut down. Though it's flooding the area. I mean, we don't want an apartment complex. Like he said, I don't want somebody staring at my daughters, my kids, or whatever, from the 2nd story up top. No, barely any of the houses over there are 2 stories high, so these are gonna be higher than every one of them? It makes no sense. What's stopping everybody over there next to Lowe's, what's stopping that spot over there from those guys wanting to do apartment complexes too? We have enough apartment complexes. What they should do is take care of the apartment complexes that we already have in the city, like maintaining them and stuff like that. We don't need new ones. So, I mean, I don't know, no disrespect, but I don't really care about what these guys think. I honestly don't care. I care about my kids, my family, my community. Every one of us knows each other. We all hang out around there. There's no way this is gonna ruin everything. It makes no sense. And, from the houses, now apartments, what's next if they fail to do the apartments? What are they gonna do next? Put a bar there? Strip club? So, that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chad. Anybody on my left? Anybody on my left? Anybody additionally on my right? Seeing none, sir, if we can have you rise to the podium again. And a reminder to the audience that we are here not for the actual site plan. We are here just to discuss the nature of rezoning this area from residential R1 to GAR, which would allow a building of this sort. So there will be additional opportunities to be heard on this matter, including in front of the city council. That being said, our decision today is exclusively about the zoning and not what that zone will ultimately be used for. So, sir, please, if you would like to address any of the concerns of the citizens that you now heard.
If I may, and one of the things that I heard loud and clear is how the previous developer, and we don't know who it is, has nothing to do with my clients, removed all the trees. This project here, the developer is planning to put trees all the way around the development. So he is going to actually plant trees, and he's going to create that buffer zone that they were talking about between these apartments and the, the neighbors. These apartments are not low income. They're not going to bring in riffraffs as they may think. They're going to be well-built, $1,600 to $1,800 per apartment. So you're not going to bring people that that can't afford to live there. They're going to be middle-class type people, the same as the people that live in these houses. No different. As far as traffic, I don't think there's going to be a big issue with traffic, and I've got the engineer here that can speak to that issue of traffic that may be generated in the minds of the neighbors by the fact that they're going to put 32 apartments in there. And again, they're not high-rise apartments, they're 4 buildings with 8 apartments in each, spread around the perimeters of this project. So if you need somebody to speak on that, I will have the engineer speak on that issue of the traffic.
All right, thank you. I'm going to open it up to the commission, and the commission will ask you questions. Hopefully, if they fail to address any of the topics that I heard from the audience, I'll make sure that those get adequately addressed. At this time, is there anybody on my right that would like to address the petitioner? Recognizing Mr. Hopkins.
I think that if we can, if Director Moe can pull up case number 1253D, which is the one coming up after that, it might give an explanation of what a garden apartment actually looks like from the overhead, because there's one just east of that subject property, and give you an idea of what it might look like.
Audience, this is Brian Hopkins' time. At this time, your opportunity to speak has actually lapsed. Please be respectful. We have a meeting to run.
Well, we had some emails addressing what exactly is a garden apartment. So that's why I brought it up, and this is one that's actively working in Westland currently. It's this development here. It's very clean, it's nice. It may not be exactly what everybody wants, but I wanted you to see what one looks like. That was my only objective here, so that you can see what that might look like as far as something in your community. I've also heard that since the citizens are concerned with if you're going to actually do what you say you're going to do, because they've already been kind of duped once. So if this rezoning is approved, what's your anticipated timeline for the site plan and construction? Are you able to commit on a time when you would be breaking down? Because that is a concern of the citizens of, are you going to do what you say you're going to do?
How you doing? Yeah, so we're gonna break ground within 12 months based on city approval.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
We're gonna break ground within 12 months from the approval.
12 months?
Yes. By the time we get all our approvals and county and all that, so that's gonna take us about 6 to 8 months at least.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I don't have any further questions, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Brian. All right, anybody additionally on my left? Recognizing Deborah Fox.
Thank you. My concern, even though there's only going to be 32 units or apartments, is coming out of that site. You won't be able to turn left, I wouldn't think. Is that factored into the plans? You'd only have to turn right. It's already a jam of traffic right there.
I didn't hear.
If I can clarify, quite a number of the curb cuts off in that area are restricted turns, right or left, depending on the location, the proximity to the major retail areas. And I believe that's the concern from the commissioner, if you'd like to address that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So the number of apartments is 32 apartments. So let's assume we have 2 to 3 trips per apartment per day. That make it less than 100. So if you divide the 100 by the active hours, that will make it less than 6 trips per hour. 6 trips per hour, we're talking probably about one car or 2 cars coming within 10 minutes. So I don't see any influence or any effect on the traffic, and I don't see any problem with the traffic making left and right turns. I have master's degree in transportation engineering, so I know exactly what I'm talking about. So it doesn't have any problem with that.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody additionally on my right?
I have a question, but it's not appropriate at this time. I have to wait until I see the site plan.
Very good, thank you. Anybody additionally on my right besides? Anybody additionally on my left? Seeing none. I do have some things I want to make sure that are addressed, some issues that I've heard. You may not actually have that information, and to the extent that this information can be answered, I extend the invitation to the administration to step up and make sure that these things are clear to everybody. So the first issue I'm going to bring up, because if our colleague Deanna was here, she'd certainly have something to say about the situation with the trees. When I believe this at least parcel was up before us before for a zone change, that zone change came from CB1 to R1.
It was
If you could catch us up to speed on the history, at least, of what previously was discussed, because I remember that Deanna had a significant issue with the preservation of the trees, and she'd be probably pretty mortified right now.
I can. The previous owner, who may still be the current owner, is that correct? Subject to a land deal happening eventually, potentially?
That's
Or did
not
you-
the same current owner.
Okay, right, okay. Okay, hold on, sir, please. Separate group, separate party, separate owners from what's going on tonight, brought forward a plan to develop the site for 6 single-family dwellings. Within that approval process, it was a site plan approval process. It wasn't a rezoning or anything related to that. Site plan approvals do not require public notice under state law. However, as a courtesy, my office does provide public notices for site plan approvals consistent with how we do public notices for rezonings this case tonight, and that is required to be within 300 feet of this property. So not everyone will get a public notice, but we do post those notices in the newspaper as well and on the city's website as well. So when that site plan approval came forward to develop 6 single-family dwellings, it was ultimately approved. The staff report and the site plan showed the elimination of trees on the site to develop those 6 homes, along with infrastructure underground, streets and driveways similar to what's being proposed tonight. During that approval process, there was a tree permit as well tied to the project, which eventually was approved by my office as well, and subsequently trees were removed. We were working with the developer on construction permits, utility permits, and also with outside utility companies, DTE, to relocate some poles on the site. And after quite a bit of time had passed, maybe 4 to 6 months, maybe even a little longer than that, the developer went dark on us, went silent, and then we saw a for sale sign out on the property, and that was that. The project was approved. They had a tree permit. The trees were removed in compliance with what was approved and agreed upon. And the last we heard was that it was no longer financially feasible to proceed with the project. And that is all the information I have, and that's unfortunately what has occurred.
So speaking to the developer very briefly, you are not the same developer that's responsible for the removal of the trees? Is that what I understand?
Absolutely not. Actually, we're going to be planting trees.
And your intention is to replant a significant amount of trees?
But we have nothing to do with the previous one, no.
This is probably only information that the administration have. I've heard some rumor that it was the power company that insisted on the pre-removal of the trees before they would allow the project to continue. Is that accurate?
I don't have that information, so I'm not going to assume that or not.
It did seem that the trees came down a little bit too soon if their project would fall through.
But
I certainly understand the concern of the citizens, and I want to make sure that the current developer is very well aware of their concerns. In the event that this does go forward, at the very least, the privacy concern is certainly top and very, very reasonable for the community, especially if we are talking about a multi-level development.
And this is definitely the developer's primary concern, to make sure that, and it's both security for both the neighbors and for the people that are living in the apartments. They're going to have, a divide between both, and the trees are going to be lined all the way around the property.
So the next topic I need to address on behalf of the community speakers is regarding the nature of the community. A change of zoning to Garden Apartment Residential. Would that necessarily change the nature of the surrounding areas? And if you could address that specifically by pointing out if there are nearby other zones that are garden apartment.
Well, I think that the development of an apartment complex or facility or whatever you want to call it will change the nature of this existing environment? I mean, sure, yes. But at the same time, I think that it's still residential in nature, and the GAR district does allow for a variety of residential uses, including single-family. But what's ultimately proposed here is multifamily, and I think that does obviously change the character of the area. Even single-family will, right? So.
Well, I certainly tend to agree with you, and I certainly don't want to wish to get into a knockdown, drag-out with our engineer friend here. But when he says that there will be no no traffic impact, that certainly can't be true. We can't say that there will be no impact, but we can say that it won't be significant enough to be noticeable, correct?
Yeah.
Knock down and drag out if you so choose.
It's not considered significant impact. The reason for that, because like, let's say if we're talking about a left turn, preventing left turn, there is some criteria and a threshold, like after you meet that, then you say, okay, it is not warranted, the left turn is not warranted, and we cannot do a left turn anymore. First of all, the location of the driveway is far away from any signalized intersection. The traffic the traffic heading south on Newburgh is not that heavy, and I can do, hold on, 1 second, 1 second. Okay. I can do the analysis.
Citizens, please, let's be respectful. I am hearing the same things that you are, and I am a citizen. I know what's happening in my own community, okay? Please trust that we know what's going on.
We can do the analysis, which is Wayne County analysis, okay, and it could be reviewed by OHM engineer, and we can prove that it's not significant to make it right in, right out. And even if it's warranted to be right in, right out, I don't believe my client is opposing that.
Okay, thank you. Redirecting to the administration, did you address the existence of any nearby GAR zones?
I did not. No. What do you want to know?
If there are other GAR zones in the general vicinity that,
The two that are up on the screen that are multifamily are zone THR. We have a variety of multifamily zoning districts, one of which is the GAR. One of the other is THR, Townhouse Residential, and the other is mid-rise residential. Between the three, GAR is most of the multifamily living communities in our city are zoned, GAR. The next most popular or zoned multifamily communities would be THR, but very little. There is Westwood Apartments on the southeast corner of Joy and Hicks. That is zoned GAR, for example, and the one that Commissioner Hopkins just pointed out on the aerial after this case is also zoned GAR. So it's a low-density multifamily living community.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The next issue that I wrote down to address is, sir, this is my time. I'll call you back up to the podium when I need you. But I did want to point out to the developer's attorney, I don't believe you actually heard the lady. Her concern was not that you would produce a low-quality or attract a low-quality tenant. Her concern was that the proposed construction had apartments that were too expensive for the market that we had here. I think certainly a concern is valid in both directions, that we do want to make sure that what we are developing and that is being developed in our community is a neat fit and also a good market investment. And certainly that's the most fair assessment I can say for that concern. Certainly we have other apartments in Westland, and certainly comparing them to what you're proposing is certainly not fair. Some of them are high-rises, and they're way too old and do not currently go to the standards for what I would consider a good living condition. And certainly I'm not going to speak about anything specifically, but we do have concerns. And that might actually play into the reason why we don't have more full apartments in the area. I did want to assure everybody that, that we usually assume that anybody that comes before us is going to do a quality job regardless. And certainly we as a city hold them both by the community, and I know that our administration holds them to a high standard. So certainly, if it is possible for this to go forward in an acceptable way, it will be done well. I'm almost certain of it. And I do want the developer to understand that the pushback from the community is primarily, and you'd have to understand this, they feel like they've been swindled. The last time that this was proposed for us, it was proposed as a 6-unit, new houses, and they cleared a natural area. I mean, if you've been by there, you can agree with me, it doesn't look great right now. And now that the area is, I mean, I'm going to be pretty frank here, is devastated. Now it seems like something else that they didn't expect to be okay with is being proposed. So please be sensitive to their concerns and their worries that they'll get swindled again. And that's certainly what I've been hearing, and I want to make sure that those gathered here understand that we have heard you. We have. And we are concerned that we're bringing something to Westland that is going to be ultimately good for everybody. So that being said, if I can bring you back up to the podium, if you'd like to say some last words before I call for a vote.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
If you had something else you'd like to say before I call this matter to a vote?
Other than the fact, just I would like to assure the citizens behind me, we share their concerns that this is going to be a high-end type of a project, and as far as the trees are concerned, that's going to be in there, definitely. And you'll see that on the site plan when it's ready, and I'm sure the citizens will be here when that comes up before the city council, before you guys with the site plan, and they'll see what he is planning to do. So.
Thank you so much.
We have a citizen that's very eager to speak.
Mr. Gochai, would you like another bite at the apple?
I really would.
Very briefly, please.
I apologize, I didn't use my time properly. I'm not used to these type of events. I'm a cheerleader in life. I'm always trying to support people. I'm not trying to hinder anybody in anything. And I didn't really understand the usage of my time at the podium. But truthfully, one thing I want to give you guys is food for thought before you render a decision is, you know, you're doing presidents now. And what I mean by this is, what if my brother and I decide to take our property, which is the biggest parcel on that picture, and we want to put apartments up there? What's going to stop us from getting on the bus?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, it should be right for us to do it too. So I just want you to be aware of the situations that you guys are walking down, and I'd rather say it now in the beginning than in the end. And again, I'm a cheerleader in life. I'm not against jobs or projects, but we got 40 years here. This isn't the right thing for us.
Appreciate it, Mr. Gochai. Madam, we do need to move on, but if you have something very quickly, I'll allow it.
I don't know how these things work, but given that the first developer stiffed the city after getting all those trees out of there, do you have any kind of financial recourse against that guy?
Those individuals that previously owned the lot have and I appreciate this, I'd like to address this very briefly. That was their property, and they can use it how they choose to. If you wish to clear cut all the trees on property that you own, you could technically do that too. Now, previously, we had a tree ordinance, and fortunately, we dodged a bullet, but Canton did not, and their tree ordinance was found to be unconstitutional. It cost them how many millions?
A lot.
A lot of millions.
A lot of money. So we currently don't have a tree ordinance that we can rely on. We do rely on the good nature of of our petitioners, and of course, sessions like this, where the petitioners can hear the concerns of our citizens and adjust what they want to do to make what they're doing more palatable to the citizens. So until we get an actual legal thing that we can do with a tree ordinance, this is where we're at. And of course, we agree, and certainly my colleague that couldn't join us here today, she had a huge issue with the trees in the area the last time this parcel was discussed. So with that, there is, oh, sure, you get two too. Mr. Rounds?
I just had a question, since we're talking about trees to the developer. So I'm looking at a preliminary site plan, and you said on a couple of occasions that you're going to plant new trees. I just want to know, is it indicated where those trees are going to go on the site plan? I think I know where they're going to go, but I want you to tell me where those trees are going to go and what kind of trees you're going to plant.
All the trees will go around the property, serve the purpose as screening from the other residential properties. Also, we have all these, like the dark green, they are bioretention systems. Bioretention system, it's green, and it's going to serve as for storm system management. It's very environmental friendly. Regarding to the trees, we still have not hired a landscaping architect. We will, and then they will specify exactly what kind of trees to provide the best screening.
But the purpose of the trees going around the property is to provide screening.
It's to provide screening. And also, if you see the design, in our design, we put the parking lot in the middle. The reason is to prevent any glaring to the residential on all sides.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, are we returning to the, Sam?
I make a motion that we close the public hearing and move case 0503E, rezoning from R1 to Garden, to the City Council for approval.
Thank you very much. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Second. Motion by Durante, second by Hobbs. A roll call, please, and please recall that we are exclusively voting on the zoning, changing this from an R1 to a garden apartment residential, which may or may not be used for an apartment building.
Okay, this is a roll call vote to recommend approval of case number 0503E. Durante?
Yes.
Folks?
Yes.
Hammonds?
No.
Hobbs?
Yes.
Hopkins?
No.
Richards?
Yes.
Rounds?
Yes.
Rappaport?
What is the current count?
Well, I have six.
The chair is not in a position to create a deadlock and will not cast his vote to do so.
Okay, it's not deadlocked right now.
Chair votes no.
Okay. 6-2. What do you got? Hold on one second. Okay, it's 5-3. Motion passes.
Very good, sir. Your next steps should be with the city council, where they will determine whether it is appropriate to rezone. As far as the city council is concerned, from there, we'll probably be in a position to look at your site plan.
Oh, yeah, right.
And you should be prepared to address the citizens' concern at each stage.
So we will get notice when the City Council is going to...
Yes, you will. Just check with the administration, and they'll help you out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for hearing us out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to case number 1253D.
We still got a meeting going on.
I'll maintain order. Moving on to 1253D, proposed rezoning from R2 Single Family Residential to CB1 Low Intensity Commercial Business District at corner of Cherry Hill and John Hicks. Mr. Ayub, can you please tell us a little bit about this proposal?
Yes, thank you. The subject property, it's a vacant parcel totaling approximately 240,000 square feet, approximately half an acre. It's situated at the intersection of Cherry Hill and John Hicks. The intersection functions as an important access point for the surrounding residential neighborhoods and community. The applicant tonight is requesting to rezone the property from R2, single-family residential, to CB1, low-intensity commercial business, which represents the city's least intensive commercial zoning classification. This is in order to facilitate the development of a neighborhood serving grocery store, small-scale grocery store, and a retail plaza. I misspoke earlier. I said half an acre, but it's a little more than that at 235,000 square feet, so I apologize. The planning department feels that the subject property is well-suited for these uses under the CB1 zoning district and also the CB1 rezoning classification as well, with the site's location along two primary roadways, providing visibility and accessibility and also traffic exposures, again, for neighborhood serving commercial development. Not large-scale development, but things that service the adjacent residential. The scale of the parcel is sufficient for the concept plan, which I believe will eventually be the actual site plan that's presented. The property to the north is zoned R2 single-family residential and is developed by a single-family home. Properties to the south are zoned R2, again, developed by single-family homes. Property to the east, GAR, Garden Apartment Residential, developed by Cherry Hill Place, multifamily living community. Property to the east is developed by a retail plaza under the PUD Planned Unit Development designation. The future land use map indicates single-family residential. I believe there won't be a lot of updates in the master plan relative to future land use designations being adjusted, but this is one that I can tell you that we are looking at to be reclassified to commercial. It hasn't happened. That will need to be adopted by the city council eventually, but it is one that is internally being discussed. So it's important at this time to indicate that. This is a rezoning case similar to the previous case, and once a site plan is formally submitted, it will have to come back before you for review. The administration is recommending approval. It is the same architect. I feel like I have to say I am not related to Mr. Ali Ayubi. It's a completely different last name, but I just wanted to mention that on the record. Thank you.
That's Ayubi, isn't it?
It's different, yeah, but it's the same at the same time, I guess.
It seems like a good prophylaxis. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ayub. If we can have the developer please rise to the podium. We have so much fun here. Is there anything you'd like to add to the presentation?
How's it going, guys? It is AUB. We're a little bit off. But yes, I'm requesting to rezone the area. The area currently lacks convenient access to fresh, affordable groceries, and there's no groceries within miles east, west, or south of that location. I actually do live in the subdivision west of John Hicks, been there for almost 6 years now, sorry. So instead of utilizing big box stores, try to offer more convenient and fresh produce. The location will also include a bakery and a meat market for people to attend and access, and hopefully the other businesses will be any business that is approved by the city. We will also be able to provide more convenience to jobs and hopefully increase that and beautify the location that's been occupied with those trees for at least 6 years. Every time I drive by there, before I even bought the house, it's been there. So also provide a sidewalk for what the lady behind me was speaking about earlier. We'd be able to provide that on John Cherry Hill for her to walk on, and we'll have a pond for sewer water and rainwater to avoid any flooding around the area.
Thank you. This is a public hearing, so just like I've done on the other two, we're going to have you take a close nearby seat, and we're going to invite the citizens to air any concerns that they may have.
Sounds good.
Anybody wish to speak on this matter on my right? Oh, I see a couple. The gentleman in the back with the blue hat, his finger was up first. Fingers are fast. Sir, if you could please rise to the podium and be recognized.
Good evening, Commissioners, city officials, and fellow residents. My name is Wayne Christner, and I've been a Westland resident for 40 years. I'm here to speak against the rezoning of this lot at Cherry Hill and Hicks, which would allow a market to be built there. While recognizing that property owners have certain rights, the city must also consider whether a zoning change makes rational sense for the wider community. This proposed zoning change makes no rational sense. This area does not need a market on this property. There's a 7-Eleven and another market right there at Cherry Hill and Hicks. These businesses have been there paying Westland taxes for more than the 40 years that I've been here. And where is the city's loyalty to these owners? They've been longtime taxpayers here, and there are also 4 major food stores less than 10 minutes away, 5 minutes if you catch a couple of lights. 2 Kroger stores, an Aldi store, and Holiday Market in Canton. This is not a commercial area. The original zoning for this area is a no-brainer. This is a residential area, a condo development to the east, single-family houses to the west, north, and south, as was pointed out. Yes, the city needs taxes, but the city seems to be going after the low-lying fruit and going after wooded lots. I believe the city has been hasty in approving the clearing of wooded lots for promised development, which doesn't appear. Why isn't more effort put into luring businesses into the city's flagship, the half-vacant Westland Mall? I realize these rezoning issues are rigged by the city to rush changes through before most residents become aware. If you were to poll this neighborhood on whether a market is needed here, I bet the approval would be near zero. I want to wish you commissioners a sincere good luck in your efforts to bring responsible, common-sense development to the city of Westland. But this rezoning effort is not such an approach. I urge you commissioners to vote no on this proposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody additionally on my left? Recognizing the gentleman in the tan sleeves. Please rise to the podium and be recognized, sir.
My name is Roy Rader. I live on Florence between Ford Road and Cherry Hill. We have so much traffic there now, we don't need another store for other people to be cutting through. We have big trucks, it says no commercial, but how they're gonna get the deliveries? They're gonna come down Ford Road to Hicks, to Florence, right into the driveway, right off of Hicks Road. There's empty stores right there across from that site there. There's an empty store right behind 7-Eleven that they can't fill. We don't need any more stores. And another thing, is there any wetlands in there? Does anybody know that? And is our infrastructure going to handle the more sewage and everything like that underground? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody additionally on my right? Ma'am?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Lori, and I live on Canyon Street, 2 blocks over from Cherry Hill, and where this new site rezoning is going to take place. I have a concern for the traffic. Now that I've seen the site plan, if you could put that up again for me. I come out of Norma and Marie Streets onto Cherry Hill. It is already congested. It takes a while to clear. We've got that light at John Hicks. So my concern now is, I was wondering where the driveways were going to be for this plan. So you have the condo people coming out and turning. You have Norma, people coming up Norma and turning. People on Marie Street. And now you're going to put a driveway right there in the middle of everything. So we're waiting to get out of our subdivision. And we're waiting for traffic to clear this way and traffic to clear this way. And now they're going to keep coming out of the store. So I wanted to know how many parking spots are in that parking lot. That's a big question for me. So how many cars can that hold? I see there's an entrance off of Hicks and off of Cherry Hill. So that is a big concern for me. Also, I want to know, like, what is the commitment for this project? I heard a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot today from the other people that had a development that was supposed to go in and didn't go in. Everything was cleared. It was it's zoned for residential. Now you're rezoning it for apartments. So this is all wooded area residential property. And what I want to find out is if it's rezoned commercial, and say this project doesn't go through, what else could go in there? So that's what I want to find out too. We've seen it already happening in different areas in the city. Secondly, when you say it's a grocery store, is it a chain? Is it a private label? Is it a specialty store? So, and the size of that store. I see a building, but I can't see all the small print, but it looks like it's the larger piece of the little mall, and there's 2 additional stores up there. But I would like to know the size of that store, and what is the green thing up there on the corner? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, at least somebody can answer that for me. I've never seen that on any of the other stuff before. But that is my biggest concern, traffic. Is there any way to do a traffic study on that? Because we can't even get out of our subdivision at this time. There's just so much traffic. And when a train comes, it's even worse to get out because we've got traffic really blocking us on the south side of Cherry Hill, and there's nobody on the north side. But even if there are people coming out of that parking lot now, we've got to work for all that to clear. So, and when I say, is it a chain store, is it private label, is it specialty? I mean, what kind of stuff, when you say meat market, is it regular meat? Is it halal meat market? That's what I want to find out. What exactly is that type of market going to be? And the other stores. I'd be interested in what the other stores are too as well. And some type of guarantee that this project is what would go in there. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of like, people say they're going to come in and do something, but is there some type of retention fund or something that promises that they have to build what they say they're going to build and it doesn't become something else? I mean, we live in a nice area. We have really good residents. We have good people. We all own our homes. Ours is paid off. We're retired. And I worry that we're going to have even more traffic congestion and a harder time to just get out of our subdivision and even our home values. What happens to us if we can't get out of our subdivision? Okay. Those are my questions. But definitely, traffic is a huge concern for me.
Thank you. Anybody additionally on my left? Gentleman in the back?
I live on the corner of Norma and Cherry Hill, down the street from that. You got woods in that. There's no need to put in. There's no need to put another grocery store there. As the gentleman said back there, you got 7-Eleven, you got another party store back there. Traffic is so congested there when traffic, you got the overflow from Ford Road coming onto there, trying to get out of that corner like that lady. That lady said, it's a mess. Train over there, they back up traffic for at least 10, 15 minutes at times, 20 minutes at times. I'm out there cutting the grass, and it's all backed up past the street, almost down to Hicks. And you're gonna put something over here, no offense. You're gonna put a party store or whatever over there. Then you got the wooded area, what are you gonna do with the wildlife? Kill them all? You got wildlife in there, or there was no concern about that? With the deer and all that. I mean, there's no consideration about that. You're talking about putting a pond there? There was a pond, I don't know if it was on Hicks or somewhere else they had a runoff. It was killing the ducks and that. I mean, there's no need for it. There's enough problems there as it is right now.
Thank you very much. Anybody additionally on my right? Ma'am again, and then we'll get to you.
Again, Angela Phelan. I've lived right in the center of almost the center where they're going to put that, if I had a pointer I would, but where they're going to put right on Cherry Hill. I live right across the street, right like 3 doors down from Marie. I could barely get on my driveway as it is. You back up, you have to wait for a light, as soon as you're waiting for a light, then you got John Hicks, that's facing south, they're going, west, and then you got this side of John Hicks, they're going this way. Then you're worried about Newburgh side coming this way. You're worried about traffic coming that way. The problem with this, and I kind of looked around, because I knew this meeting was coming up, as I was going down Ann Arbor Road, they have strip malls and they have residential areas, but guess what the difference is? They have more road, they have 2 lanes. And our driveways are facing right on Cherry Hill. There's no way to go around it. We have to wait to get in and out of our drive. There's times when there is a train, I can't get out of my driveway, or I can't even get into my driveway. I have to wait 20 minutes. It's dangerous. We have constant people already because of the sidewalk issue, walking across the street. Our mailboxes are constantly getting ran over, car parts. It's just way too busy. I've actually promoted maybe slowing the speed limit down to kind of maybe prevent some of this traffic to kind of maybe go other ways. But yeah, there's just no way. I mean, there's no way we can have a driveway going on Cherry Hill. The traffic just can't support it. Between the hours at least, if you want to do a traffic study, I would say at least from 11, it's really bad about 1, to 8. That's bad. It's very dangerous. Thank you.
Anybody on my left? We still have people that haven't been recognized first. So please wait until I have no additional, and then I can re-recognize you. Seeing none on the left, ma'am on the right, please.
Again, my name is Debbie, and I live off Cherry Hill. I live in the Cherry Hill Place. And we were talking about the water basin, and is that a water retention area? We have the water basin. I live in the first building, and there is, on our development, a water retention basin that comes from a whole lot of other places in communities. So there is the possibility of wetlands. There's a concern Would I love to have fresh fruit and vegetables every time I wanted them? Absolutely. But do I want to have the increase in the traffic? You really, as we've talked about traffic all around these decisions this evening, I know in my development, I lived on Outer Drive in Detroit, and I used to think, oh, when I looked at this place, I said, I can live on Cherry Hill. I lived on Outer Drive. God knows, I can live any place. Well, I hate to tell you, Outer Drive is a residential neighborhood, and the traffic usually stops about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Cherry Hill never stops. I live facing Cherry Hill, and there are lots of big trees, but as they're getting older, they're dying and what have you. Traffic on Cherry Hill seems to never stop, and it just seems to be in our development. We have almost 96 units. And you stop and think about 96 units, and each one of those units have 2 cars. We now have 200 people, 200 cars coming and going out of one development. That's a lot. That's just one development. That's not the community across the street that they were talking about, or the community over there. So unless we're going to build some bigger roads, I'm not really, nothing against having fresh fruit, but unless we're going to build a bigger road, it doesn't make sense. And where is the wildlife going to go? Because we do have a lot of wildlife there. I mean, the deer are in the pond all the time. So, and as far as the fertilizer killing the ducks, it's the coyotes that are killing the ducks. We have everything in that little wood section there. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody additionally on my left, except for that guy? Anybody additionally on my right? Ma'am?
Thank you. My name's Mary Lou Phillips. I live at 38529 Cherry Hill Road, right across from the entrance of the condominiums. We bought our house 3 years ago. We moved here from North Carolina. I have 2 concerns. The one is the property values of the house now that a commercial facility will be put in there. And the second is the traffic, and I know you've heard it, but it's terrible. I go out to get the mail sometimes, and I get a little bit afraid because I'm afraid somebody's going to come up and hit me there. And I know that certain times in the morning from like 7 to 10 and from, say, 1 to 7, the traffic's terrible. You put in the little extra little thing of the train going across between 3:30 and 4, and the traffic is past our house backed up. So I just think that's a real issue for that area with having that number of people going into that complex. That's my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody additional? Yeah, okay. You were right, there was another one, Ruby.
Hello, my name is Alina Kivu. I live right across the street from this wooden area that's proposed for rezoning. We lived there for 24 years, so we own the house and everything. Really upset with the situation, so I have a couple things that I want to just pinpointed. First of all, the traffic. Traffic, it's like my neighbors Angie and my neighbor Stan just said, it's sometimes unreal. Property value is going to go down, right? Because it's a commercial place right across the street. The train, don't forget the train. It's not a day that goes by without the train stopping us for sometimes half an hour. I had to go around in a neighborhood and kind of like try to enter my house from Norma. Wildlife will be killed in that wooden area. The trees will be cut down. So what about the green energy that we are talking about? The trees providing us, oxygen and stuff like that. So the trees will go down. Plus, it's only 2-line road. I mean, one in each direction. So a lot of concerns. I hope you will take this into consideration and we will come to a conclusion. Thank you.
Is there anybody that wishes to speak that has not yet spoken? Gentlemen in the Tanzania.
I can talk loud enough. I just want to know.
We want to make sure that we get it on the,
I can talk loud enough.
not enough for the cameras to catch it, sir. Please remember that we are recording.
That's fine. I just want to know what the effect it's going to do on my house value. My daughter just bought the house right across the street on Florence. She's got 4 kids. And then my other son, he lives in the city, so we're City of Westland residents from probably the 50s, because her mom and dad had the house before. We bought the house across the street. Now she bought her house when she passed. So we live in Westland. We just want to know what it's going to affect our housing and the amount. Is it going to go down or is it going to go up? And all these other residents are going to be asking the same thing. It's all residents all the way around that area. There's not no commercial besides that one little plaza there and the casinos and the 7-Eleven, which has been there since the 70s. So I work construction. That's where I went, get my coffee in the 70s. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir, if I can have you rise back to the podium. I believe unless anybody else has additional contribution. Please keep it brief, sir.
As that gentleman said, you got a holiday market, you got a bunch of crap all around. All you gotta do is go down Ford Road. You got everything you need. Even down Newburgh, it's all business. Across the street from my house, like I said, I'm on Cherry Hill in Norma. That was all wooded. It was really nice. That was one of the things that why we moved there. Well, they ripped all that stuff out. Now you're gonna rip out more? And that's always going to be business now. You want to make a little business here, then what? You got woods also for sale next door to that. Going to make that business too? Like they were all saying, property value is going to drop. I don't want to live across the street from a bunch of businesses and facilities. I don't know about anybody else, but that's not worth it. You got everything you need in that whole area. Why have something else? They have more problems. I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
May I answer some of the technical questions?
Absolutely, because he's, hey, aren't you the guy from the other thing?
Yeah, I am. Gassan Kalaf, design engineer.
At this time, we're going to return the petitioner, and I assume the petitioner's engineer,
Yes,
to the podium, and you can address some of the concerns of the citizens at this
Yes,
time.
sure.
And then we'll open it up to the commission.
absolutely. So some of the technical question was arise wetland. So wetland was determined by the state of Michigan, that there is no wetland on the property, and it was investigated by the state. And I believe they sent emails to the city, there is no wetland on the property. Regarding to the driveway location on Cherry Hill, it's exactly facing the subdivision to the south, and the driveway on the west, it's exactly facing the driveway on from the commercial subdivision. So this is the best practice in engineering to prevent any lock left turn from both driveways. The other thing, if that site to trigger a traffic impact study, we'll definitely can do a traffic impact study. The other thing was, one of the questions was the number of parking. The required is 115, we are providing 140. We can reduce that number to be exactly 115 if the city wants more green area. And the pond will increase or will serve for the wildlife in the area.
Thank you.
Okay.
Petitioner, did you want to address any of the concerns directly?
Unless there's anything else.
Well, I'm going to open it up to the petition, or to the commission.
Yeah.
So if any of the commissioners would like to examine the petitioner, recognizing Brian Hopkins.
Good evening, Petitioner. The residents had asked about traffic. How many parking spots are you expecting? I know that this is not an actual site plan, and we're only here to actually make a decision on the rezoning. So you haven't actually presented a site plan, and I wanted to let the residents know that there is not a site plan. This is just a rezoning. That has not come into play yet. But it looks like you got a good idea of what you'd like to do. How many parking spots was the question that was asked? And what kind of grocery store would this be? Is this going to be like a corporate like entity, like a Spartan store, or is this a private kind of grocery store? And do you have an idea of some of the other retail stores would be in your complex?
So in regards to the parking spaces, the engineer was just speaking about that. I believe it was 140, 115 is what's required. And then what we were proposing, if the city wants it, was about 140.
140.
Yeah. So that could always be reduced to increase greenery around the area. In regards to the grocery store, it's not a big commercial store, big box store, no. There is no set in stone of what it is, but it is like a small convenience store. It's a grocery store, but it's not a big box store, I should say. It's not a big corporate store, if was what you were asking.
If you had to compare it to something in the area, what might you compare it to?
Maybe the closest thing I can think of is maybe an Aldi.
Aldi? Okay, so
Possible, yes.
that type of
Correct.
environment?
Correct. And then in regards to the meat market that they were asking about, it's all sorts of meat. It's not just halal meat. There's no limitations in regards to that. And then also a bakery in there.
Okay. Would you be offering halal?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Very good. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. Anybody on my left? Oh, recognizing Jessica Hobbs.
I had a question less for the petitioner and more just about the low-intensity commercial district in general. Could we get an explanation from the administration about the other types of uses that might be allowed in CB1?
Absolutely. Through the chair to the administration.
Yes, thank you for the question. The CB1 district allows, as you mentioned, low-intensity commercial uses, which I can detail in a second, but it also allows for office uses as well, similar to or identical to medical offices, professional offices, such as tax services, music lessons, things of that nature. Type of low-intensity commercial uses that would be permitted here are retail shops like a vinyl record store or other retail businesses of that nature. We also allow small-scale restaurants in the CB1 district, no drive-through restaurants without special land use approval. No drive-in restaurants without special land use approval. A pharmacy would be permitted, for example. It's just small retail and office operations. Anything more intense would require special land use if permitted in the CB1 district. If you have any specific uses in mind, I can answer those as well.
Thank you, administration. Did that answer your question, Ms. Hobbs? Fantastic. Anybody on my right? Recognizing Ruby Richards first, then.
My question is to the director, has a traffic study been done?
No, a
Because-
traffic study has not been done. If the planning commission deems that traffic study is appropriate, it can require one at the site plan approval process, or perhaps as a courtesy today, although you can't condition the rezoning for the, via
Because I
the-
have been down Cherry Hill, and I know how the traffic is, and I done got caught by that train a lot.
The train is a train.
I know.
Sure, yes.
But I'm just saying, for them to get out of their residency, yeah, it's crazy. And even without the train, I done been down there, and it has been heavy traffic.
Recognizing Sam Durante.
Okay, how did you pick this area? How did you pick Cherry Hill and John Hicks? What made you pick that specific spot? With all the vacant buildings and vacant stores we've got throughout the city, why build a building when there's so many that you can go into and utilize? Why Cherry Hill and Hicks?
May I answer?
Mhm.
No, I thought he had another question. It's just to provide more convenience to the community. There is surrounding neighborhoods that, myself included, I live in, that it would be convenient to be able to walk to those stores. Everybody's about walking and activity, and being able to walk to your grocery store within 2-minute walk would be very convenient for everybody. Also, the other stores would be open to whatever the city is approved, so there's no set in stone to what the other stores would be. The location has been just woods for a long period of time, as I can recall, from before I even moved into Westland. Every time I drove by that location, and I figured that would be a good spot to have.
Thank you very much. Is that,
No, but that,
did you want to continue?
I just, Cherry Hill and Hicks is, you know, like, I agree with a lot of the residents that Cherry Hill is a two-lane road right there. Hicks is a busy road. And you want to put another business right there? Seems like there would be a lot better places to put a business than Cherry Hill and Hicks. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Okay, great. I can't tell.
Sorry.
Anybody additionally on my left? Anybody additionally on my right? Recognizing Darrell Rounds.
So this is a question just for clarification. The Planning Commission could require a traffic study, but for the purposes of what we're here tonight, this is just for the sole purposes of rezoning, right?
Correct. A traffic study could be requested and/or demanded moving forward if we were to go to the site plan
Site plan approval.
approval. But right now, we're just determining whether this should stay single-family residential zone or if it is appropriate to change it to a commercial business zone.
CB1,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, with that said, if you want a traffic study, tell him now. It doesn't make sense for him to come back with a site plan and then wait another month after you review the site plan, telling him you want a traffic study, if that's your position. But don't condition potential approval on the traffic study. If you want a traffic study, just let him know. That's what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense.
I would anticipate the community wanting a traffic study.
want a traffic study.
I was planning on mentioning it as well.
Sure. All right. I'm good.
Re-recognizing Mr. Hopkins.
So, yes, the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act doesn't really allow us to put conditions on use restrictions and site limitations and the limits for the development, but you, as a petitioner, can offer it up to the residents as as goodwill on what you would say you would do, and you can offer this up in writing yourself. And it may be a way for you to make a link with the citizens as well. So I think some of the concerns can be met if you actually volunteer them.
No problem.
That's very positive in my opinion, residents, that if he's willing to come to you guys and say, hey, they're not going to put them on me, but if this is what you guys want, I'll voluntarily say them and I'll put them in writing.
Mr. Hopkins?
I think that's fair.
If I can raise a point.
Sure.
I believe, although I very much appreciate your intention, and I'm not sure that we're actually permitted to make that suggestion.
Oh,
I believe
then I
that's appropriate
apologize
under the
if we're
code.
not, but I think it might solve it.
But you are
if it
certainly
isn't.
correct. And
Yes.
you should probably just leave it as
Okay.
as it says. Is there any additional on my right?
No.
Any additional on my left? Mr. Hammonds, welcome.
Thank you. Through the chair to the petitioner, I think it's a great-looking project. I know you've got an ideal and a vision here that you see, that you want here in the community. I have a hard time supporting this because of several reasons. And one being is the traffic in the area. It's horrendous there now. As you look around, everywhere around there, single-family residents, there are some condos there to the east. And a lot of people have talked about property values. And I can speak on this. I've been a realtor for 20-some years. The people across the street, it is going to affect your property value. Yourself, it may not affect it as much because you're not adjacent to it, but I can understand all your concerns. I will have a hard time throwing my support behind this tonight. With that, I'm done. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hammonds. Any additional on my right? Any additional on my left? Seeing none, there are a few things that I heard from the citizens' comments that I'd like to clarify. And I'm going to try not to put too much of my own personal bias into my questions, because I do live very close to this proposal. But before I get into the commentary, I do want to make it very, very clear that some of the concerns that I heard from the citizens seem to be relevant concerns for any development, whether this is a residential development or a business development. And that's just simply not something that we can do. If somebody wants to develop this currently as it's zoned as a residential, that's currently what it would be developed as. The only question that's before us today is whether this corner piece is better for the city to be developed as a business, or if it's better for the city for it to be planned to be developed as a residential plot. This was not set aside as a nature preserve, nor is it, I'm trained as an environmental attorney, nor is it a protected wetland. There may be land there, the land might be wet, but it's not protected. So that being said, I also wanted to address the issue, somebody mentioned Westland Mall as an option. Westland Mall is not an option. It's owned by a company. This company has been very difficult for the city to work with, and certainly this gentleman has no connection or ability to get his business put into Westland Mall. It's a nice suggestion if it would work, but it just simply can't, and it's not his fault. As far as the suggestion from my colleague down at the end, I would actually like to echo that, not as a preference, but certainly as an option. I would put my eyes on Cherry Hill and John Hicks, the formerly Caesar land. That's prime location on a corner on a thoroughfare. What's that?
Cherry Hill and John Hicks is.
Or sorry, Cherry Hill and Wayne, the former Caesar land there. It's large, very similar to the plot that you're looking at, and might be actually easier to develop.
I would like that one.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, Mr. Hammonds, for mentioning property values. Generally, my statement on property values is property values will go up or go down, and there's really honestly no way to tell if they will go up or down depending on the quality of a development. So, and certainly we can't make decisions based on speculation whether they would or they wouldn't. That's just the market. So definitely the traffic is a concern in the area. Certainly the train occasionally blocking traffic makes it a little bit more challenging. There is a planned route or bypass that feeds out through Newburgh Road, and it works, right? Like if you've ever done it, it kind of winds through and it kind of works, but it's still a pain, and it still does cause some traffic backups. So I would certainly anticipate the need, even for your own benefit, if you end up putting a business there, to figure out what you would need to do to make sure that your business gets the sort of positive community reaction that you anticipate. I also want to call your attention, there was a number of mentions for other foodstuff markets in the area, and they didn't even catch them all. Certainly, one of the markets that was mentioned isn't really a market, it's a catering business, and they'd probably love to have you there. But certainly, we have 2 of 3 of those corners currently taken up by some sort of commercial business. A commercial business at a corner site is not out of the question. It certainly is a question whether it should or shouldn't be a residence, because of course the residence directly across the road does support the notion that the correct character for that spot should be residential. But once again, the commercial businesses on the other side of the street also say that is a valid use potentially for that area. But it is currently residential in nature, and that is currently where we're at with the master plan for that area.
Don't hurry up, I'll pee my pants.
The last thing that I didn't hear an answer to that actually satisfied me, and I'm so sorry, I'm very long-winded, super long-winded, is the nature of the rest of the strip mall. Like, obviously, depending on your clientele, your market could take on a specific nature. But it's obvious, because this parcel that you're talking about, it's easily twice the size of the strip mall across the street that houses the current Little Caesars that my family goes to all the time, and the weed shop that my niece frequents all the time. What sort of businesses can we expect to see in there if your proposal does actually get to move forward? What's your vision? Obviously, we don't want to pin you down on a decision because we're not there yet.
Yeah, I don't have anything set in stone. I've been open to the ideas, and it's been a suggestion to me was probably like a coffee shop also, a nice sit-in area. A restaurant would be another one. I know across the street is only a 7-Eleven, and where you're talking about is only the Little Caesars in that area, so it wouldn't affect that in regards to coffee. And then anything else, I'll be open to the options, but I haven't set in stone anything just yet.
And just randomly thinking about it, are you considering reaching out to the businesses around you and forming some sort of relationship with them so that you guys don't predate on each other?
Of course.
Okay, that sounds friendly.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Those
sir.
are all the questions that I had. And Director Ayub's looking like he really wants to get home to his kids.
I'm good with it. This is your meeting.
So at this time, a motion is in order. Hearing none, I'm going to have to make that motion then. Making the positive motion to close the public hearing, waive the normal rules, and send case number 1253D to City Council with a recommendation for rezoning from R2 Single Family Residential to CB1, subject to departmental requirements.
A motion has been placed on the floor. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Been second by Deborah Folks. Can you do roll call, Director?
Right, this is roll call vote to recommend approval of case number 1253D. Durante,
No.
Folks,
No.
Hammonds,
No.
Hobbs,
No.
Hopkins,
No.
Richards,
No.
Rounds,
No.
Statchow's absent, Rappaport.
No.
Okay, the project is recommended for denial, I guess.
I don't
Right?
believe
No? Okay.
that was the determination of the board,
That's all.
but I will examine to see if if that is the will of the board.
Okay.
I'm going to take this back.
I can.
At this time, the chair will hear a motion for denial, recognizing Hobbs.
I make the motion that we send case number 1253D, proposed rezoning from R2 Single Family Residential to CB1 Low Intensity Commercial Business District, forwarded to City Council with a recommendation for denial.
Support.
That's it.
Prior to support, if you could please close the public hearing, waive the normal rules.
I also close the public hearing and waive the normal rules.
Thank you very much. Is the support still valid?
Support.
Thank you very much. Motion by Hobbs, support by Durante. Roll call, please.
Okay, this is a roll call vote to recommend denial of case number 1253D. Durante,
Clarification. A yes vote means we're voting against it, or no vote means we're voting against it.
this is a roll call vote to deny the project.
So an indication of yes will approve a denial
Okay,
recommendation.
Just clarification, that's all. Yes.
Okay, roll call vote to recommend denial of the project. Durante,
Yes.
Folks,
Yes.
Hammonds.
Yes.
Hobbs,
Yes.
Hopkins,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
Rounds.
Yes.
And Rappaport.
No.
Okay, the project is recommended for denial.
Thank you very much. Sir, our recommendation for denial here does not necessarily mean that your project's not valid, nor does it mean that the city council will necessarily agree with us. Our decision here is based solely on the feedback that we've gotten from the community and our belief as to what best serves the community for the use of that particular parcel. I wish you the best of luck, and if you can check with the administration for next steps, I wish you the best.
All right, thank you.
Sincerely, sir.
Thank you.
Well, seeing as how we skipped commissioner comments last month, I don't think it's appropriate for us to do it again this month. So let's start with Mr. Durante at the end there.
I'd like to welcome our new commissioner, M, to the board. Hope you have a long stay.
Mr. Rounds. Mr. Hopkins.
I'd like to welcome Adam. Welcome aboard. I'd like to, I hope that everybody had a great Easter holiday, and I'm really, really looking forward to some spring weather. It's crazy. We have 4 seasons in a day, and it's killing me. My allergies are on fire. I just wish this would just stop. We need some relief. Thank you.
Ruby Richards.
I would like to,
Oh, I got you. I got you.
I would like to welcome Adam Hammonds to the board. And I just wish everyone a great evening.
Very much. Jessica Hobbs.
I also want to echo my fellow commissioners' statements and welcome Adam to the board. I also, as a 2-time Michigan alum, would like to say on the record, go blue, and wish everyone a wonderful evening.
Lame. Mr. Hammonds.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for welcoming me to the board. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. A long time ago, I served here many moons ago, so it's nice to be back, and I'm thankful that the mayor for the appointment. I do also want to thank all the residents for coming out tonight. It's not easy to come out and speak at these meetings, speak your voice. Sometimes when you come out, you don't think you're going to be heard, but you are heard tonight. If you feel passionate about what you saw tonight and what you said and what you heard, make sure you go to the city council and voice your concerns as well. And with that, I'm all set. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Ms. Fox.
Yes, welcome, Adam. Everyone said that, and I want to also wish welcome here to our board. And you'll see we're pretty good, to work with. Okay.
Knock it
I'm
out.
not finished yet.
Oh.
Okay. We talked about the weather, and I just want to say I was in Kentucky, and it was like 85 degrees on Easter, but I had to drive back last night, and it was not nice. And that's the end of my comments for tonight.
Sam?
Okay, I just want to wish Deanna a speedy recovery.
Yes.
I forgot that on my first time around, so I just wanted to add that, wish her a speedy recovery.
Me too. Yeah. Administration.
I would also like to welcome back Commissioner Hammonds and Go Blue, and we will have a meeting next month. I think that's it. Thank you.
Anything from Nicole? You want to tell us about the braces? They look great.
Thank you. Welcome, Adam. So happy you're with us. It's a great group of people, and missing Deanna, so I hope she's recovered and at the next meeting for sure.
So I get to also wish Deanna a quick recovery. I hope I did a decent job of representing what she certainly would have wanted to say in regard to our second item on the agenda. She didn't call me or anything like that, but I honestly do listen to you guys. When you bring your stuff to me, I listen. So that being said, I'd like to join the rest of our PC in welcoming our new returning member, Adam Hammonds. I look forward to your service on the PC. I also wanted to take the opportunity to acknowledge the service of David Reed, whose departure allowed Adam to join us. Normally, I would have thanked David during his ultimate session last month, but last month's session was, let's just say it was extraordinary. I'm going to address our gratitude to Commissioner Reed this month, and I hope he hears it. David Reed was appointed to the PC and immediately stepped into the role of secretary, where he served for his first year. David was no stranger to service to the city and had been involved with Westland volunteerism in his younger years prior to returning to service on our commission. His addition to our family added a unique energy that was unmistakable while he was here. In sessions, David was reliably outspoken, erudite, and passionate. Akin to myself, Commissioner Reed liked to be very thorough with his comments, which is a very, very, very nice way of saying that he is long-winded. So am I. He was usually on point, though, and dogged in his determination to see only the best from our petitioners and only the best for Westland citizens. He served the city well. As a person, David has this luminescent charisma about him, and it is difficult to be in a social setting and not know that he's present. He's quite charming and always has a fantastic story to share about his exploits. I personally greatly appreciated his fraternity and support over the years. I believe I can speak for the entirety of our commission, family, and perhaps a grateful city in thanking David Michael Reed for his service. We wish you the best, David, in all your future endeavors. May goodness and justice always guide you. So, well, I prepared it, so I better be. So with that, I believe a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
Second.
I see a second already down on the end. So that's a motion by Ruby Richards, second by Sam Durante. All those in favor, please indicate so. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.